old? Get rid of that old car and do a good deed at the same time. It's the Arrowhead Ranch Annual Auto Auction coming soon to Coal Valley. That's right, it's back. Donate your car, truck, SUV, or motorcycle, and if you live within 40 miles of Coal Valley, they will even pick it up, even if it doesn't run. All donations are tax deductible. Call 309-799-7044 or visit them online at arrowheadyouth.org. Car old, needed sold, Arrowhead Ranch Annual Auto Auction. Stay tuned for an auction date in Coal Valley.
The Will Kane Show.
Joe Judge became head coach of the New York Giants. As I walked up today in the hallways, Mike A gave me that good to see you smile, but it's more like a wince because Nuno was nearby. We weren't really worried about anger so much as hurt feelings.
It was an apologetic look, like you'd see when you know somebody's had a rough day, like, how you holding up, big guy? How you doing, champ?
Wait a minute. We're all about honesty here. No one's like that. We want to see each other miserable. Like, that's what everyone was hoping for, is that I would be miserable, because it would have just been great for this show, right? Like, I would have to produce this show, and on a Monday after Jason Garrett's just sitting here clapping away, and then I can't even speak.
And just out of curiosity, not for any personal interest of mine or Mike A's or Bubba's, how miserable are you?
The Will Kane Show, 2 till 5 on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
With the loss of a loved one, planning a fitting service can be a real challenge. At Whelan Presley Funeral Homes and Crematory, with our personalized service and attention to detail, you can be confident the service will be everything you wished for. We've been serving families in our area for generations. We would be privileged to serve yours too. Whelan Presley Funeral Homes and Crematory, Rock Island, Milan, Reynolds, and the Knox Chapel.
Wake up with Golick and Wingo. Drive home with Spain and Company. The Quad City Sports Leader is ESPN 1170 AM.
All right, everybody, we're back here at the Castle Castle, brought to you by Dunright Satellite and Dish.
All right, well,
we have more fun on the radio than anybody in the entire world.
I apologize. We weren't up on the Facebook Live, and so for those of you, I'll catch you up real quick. The reason being is just that I had to change the password thing didn't flip over, and I had to change my password because it said I was somewhere in Nebraska logged in. And I was like, I better change the password before they start.
Someone's trying to be Jaybird.
I guess, and start making some weird posts or whatever else.
Nobody can have that beautiful mane of hair.
No one can. But we're going to have a phone call at 12:35 from Jake.
Look at his pipes, too.
Jake, leave me alone.
Look at his pipes. Look at his pipes.
What are you looking at?
The guns.
He's got potatoes.
He does. Look, curls for the girls going on over there.
All right, you done?
No, I haven't picked.
We've only just begun.
We're gonna have Jake from Elite Sports on 12:35. At 1 o'clock, we're gonna have Coach Watchell from Davenport North Baseball. That's important because next Monday they're gonna be able to start the season practices and then games after that. Again, this is important. We're gonna hear about how he's getting ready for this, what they're doing, what the regulations, the guidelines, the suggestions are for having games, and then in the second half, we're gonna play the side of it, as Bill Simmons calls it, the forgivables. And if you listen to Simmons, he had Rosillo on over the weekend, and it was a lot to do with the Lance Armstrong portion of the 30 for 30, and where does he rank at on people that you forgive because they may have left a black mark on sports or their legacy or their personality. So we're going to have a list of people, and if you guys have a list of anyone out there, please put it on the Harrington's Pub Facebook comment thread. I mean, Lance Armstrong's on there, A-Rod's on there, Roger Clemens, Pete Rose,
OJ.
Michael Vick, OJ.
Black Sox, Ray Lewis.
Yeah.
OJ is Jay's favorite.
Yeah.
Going into OJ real quick.
Yes, let's.
So last night I couldn't sleep. My sleep was all messed up yesterday.
Okay.
Mine was too. Weird.
So something came on, and it was kind of like a B movie. And it had some actresses in it that had been in, like, Orange is the New Crack. And
Orange is the New Crack?
Yeah. and I can't remember who actually played, but the movie was titled The Murder of Nicole Brown Simpson.
Oh.
And she's not a B-list actor per se, but she's not quite, like, super, super popular. Anyway, She plays Nicole Brown. Now, apparently,
I'm gonna IDMB this. Whatever.
Yeah, I think I know who it was. Was it older?
well, I think it just came out recently.
Because I think didn't Farrah
Whoa,
Fawcett
it
play
popped
Nicole
right
Brown?
up. Siri's listening to us.
No.
I mean, that popped right up. I made it to the murder.
Yeah, well, you know.
Oh, this is. That's
Hey,
scary.
hey, Wiretap. Who played Nicole Simpson?
Mina Suvari.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, whoever that is. But
She actually
anyhow,
went to the same national thing that I did.
What same national thing?
AMTC.
Mina Suvari is a chick from American Pie.
Yeah.
In
well,
Okay.
American Beauty, yep.
Yeah,
Well, she was in American Pie too.
AMTC.
I knew I recognized her. I just couldn't think of so she's not like B-list, but this movie wasn't the greatest movie per se.
Right.
But anyway, so she plays Nicole Brown. Did you ever hear their theory? And this is the thing that I never.
I'm so excited about this. I don't. You guys, I can't get enough of OJ.
And this is where I need to. This is where I need to. At the end of the movie, I watched everything. Title credits all the way to the last part. At the last part, they had actual 911 calls from her with OJ in the background.
Yeah.
They put up a number for if you're in an abused relationship.
Yeah.
This is the number you call. I mean, it seemed to me like they took everything serious. They proposed a possible other scenario,
Oh yeah.
but they never let OJ off. They never said, "Oh no, dude's innocent. Dude may not have killed her, but
He killed her.
he was there." See, because he even says in that one interview, well, I had my
Innocent
buddy.
people don't run.
Oh, no.
like
Watch.
he
My
did.
buddy Charlie showed up. So anyway, this dude Charlie, there's this mass killer called the Casanova Killer.
Mm-hmm.
He, if this is true from what the movie was telling me, he killed her next door neighbor. And then she called 911 on this guy because she allegedly, now by whatever, I'm going by what the movie's saying, she had a quick fling with this dude.
She had a fling with a lot of people.
All right. Hold on a second. Where did you
Not
see this
to-
on?
On Showtime.
Was it live? Oh, Showtime. Skinamax?
Because this was released in December of 2019. This is like
The new.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's new.
Wow.
By the way, after Space Jam, this is what we're doing next week.
Dude, this
we
is
are rewatching
this is trippy. So they're even interviewing this guy who's now he was captured in Florida. He's still in prison. They're like, "Did you kill Nicole Brown?" There are people asking.
Is this
him.
his Glenn Edwards Rogers guy?
Yeah. She called the cops. She goes, "This guy didn't
I'm
go in."
in on this.
So the 911 call's there on this thing. There's no way they can make up a 911 call, right?
Well, yeah, they can.
Well, I mean, they're saying it was a real 911 call.
Sean's saying that his son did it. Everyone knows that, and the Jews covered it up.
Wow.
All right, well, I'm not going to get into all the theories, but
I
that's
disagree. I
fine.
think he did it.
Next
I'm a
week
firm
we'll get
believer
into
that OJ
I'm
did
a
it.
firm believer he did it too, but what if he had like his buddy do it? Like he said, he goes, "No, man, I was there, but it got out of line because Charlie did."
Here's why I don't think that theory is probable. It's possible, but not probable. And here's why. Because of all the videotapes and all the recordings I've heard of him calling, the way he talked to her, the way he beat her, the way he told her she was his property, she wasn't allowed freedom, she was his, everything on her was his, that showed his aggression towards her. So I don't think he could have stood back and watched somebody else do it. I think he wanted in on it. You know what I mean?
You're not going to hear any argument from me.
Right.
This movie makes you really think. It's just like, how did this all happen at the same time? And I never heard about this before.
Yeah.
The guy killed her next door neighbor.
Wasn't there
And allegedly had a fling with Nicole Brown where she came downstairs and dude was talking to himself.
Wasn't there a slew of
She
murders in
called
the neighborhood?
911.
There's a slew of murders in well, somebody broke in prior to this night in their house.
Right.
But they thought it was OJ. She even said on the call, "I think it was my ex-husband."
Right.
So I don't know, man. It's trippy. Poor girl.
She goes over to the next door neighbor to complain about this guy, and she wanted to get his name to try to figure out who he was. And the neighbor was like, "Well, I can't help you because she's missing." And then they found her mutilated body. And then, I don't know, dude. Casanova Killer. You reading this, Jay?
I don't think that's right, by the way. I think that's... Are you talking about the Sandra Gallagher?
I don't know if that's the one.
He killed her after Nicole Brown Simpson was murdered.
Oh, it was after, but it was in the same neighborhood, so they could have. Maybe they're thinking that they killed Nicole Brown before he killed
Well, if
the
that's
neighbor.
the thing, then the movie kind of really leads you
Well, they tend to do
leads
that.
you down the wrong. That's why I said it.
That's why we have to do these rewatchable movies
yeah,
or whatever
that's what
else.
I said. If this is true, I go, this is insanely incredible.
In the 2012 documentary, My Brother, the Serial Killer, it examined Rogers' crimes and included claims that Rogers killed Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman in 1994. According to Rogers' brother Clay, Rogers claimed that before the murders, he had met Brown and was going to take her down. During a lengthy correspondence that began in 2009 between Rogers and criminal profiler Anthony Mialis, Rogers wrote and created paintings about his involvement with the murders. During a prison meeting between the two, Rogers claimed that he was hired by O.J. Simpson to break into Nicole Brown Simpson's house and steal some expensive jewelry, and that Simpson had told him, "You may have to kill that bee." You know what I'm saying, right? In a filmed interview, Glenn's brother Clay asserts that his brother confessed his involvement. Rogers' family stated that he had informed them that he had been working for Nicole in 1994 and that he made verbal threats about her to them. Rogers later spoke to a criminal profiler about the Goldman-Simpson murder, providing details about the crime and remarking that he had been hired by O.J. to steal a pair of earrings and potentially murder Nicole. This is something else.
What did he get arrested for? O.J. after the fact, didn't he go to jail for holding people hostage with a knife?
It was his property that he was taking back.
God, he's defending.
It was his
where we're
property.
At, Jenny. This is where we're at. It's like, okay, it's my property. You're not leaving, and you hold a knife to their throat because
they bought O.J.'s property legally.
And they wanted to remove it.
Somebody took it illegally, and he wanted to. Come on, let's just start throwing out things. We'll get to that when we get to the forgivables.
He was guilty in a court of law. There's more evidence in that.
He did his time. Let's not keep bringing it back.
I don't know about that. I still feel pretty bad for the Goldmans.
Yeah, I do too. I shouldn't.
I feel bad for the Simpsons as well. I mean, those children, for God's sakes.
Yeah, I mean, there's also the idea that it could have been the Mexican cartel.
The Brentwood Hotel came up, or Hello.
Did it?
Too,
that must be really. I'm telling you though, don't forget about the drug problem that they had.
Oh, there was whoever her friend Faye is. It Faye?
Yeah, Faye Resnick. Yeah.
Yeah, Faye cuts up some lines for her. Right
she
there.
was sheboyganing.
Well, the weird thing about that is there's theories out there also, and I've brought it up before, that they both were deep into drug dealers, money wise. Faye and Nicole.
I 100% believe that.
And OJ bailed him out the first time.
I think he was in on it.
He bailed him out. He paid for it. And then the second time they came again. They're like, they're down a lot. And he's like, I can't bail it. I can't pay this. Faye checked into rehab right before, days before the murder.
Faye is a shady character.
You know, she's
on Real Housewives now.
Is she really?
Yes. Beverly Hills. She's friends with Kyle. I don't like her. I never liked her. I can't trust her. You can tell. She's just one of those people, just bad vibes.
We brought it up before. We're not the only one, but on Saturday, NBA announced that it's in early discussions to resume its season in late July at Disney's ESPN Wide World of Sports complex in Orlando. Woj is saying that everything is pointing toward this happening and that teams could start recalling players as soon as next week for a 2-week quarantine period and formal training camp. There's also variations of this, what's going on. I guess you can look at, and we should have Kakert come in and talk about this because he goes to the Vegas Summer League, where they have that's basically they have all 30 NBA teams in two packed arenas. They host 10 games a day, so the NBA does have experience with this type of thing. Ideally, as far as the season goes, NBA wants to play at least 70 regular season games. We talked about that to fulfill contracts with Regional Sports Network. So every team is close to that. We've been through all that. But to get to that so they don't have to pay back anything. So to get to some regular season games, get their legs out from underneath them. And then it's also saying that they want to do the full 7 in the finals for sure. A full 7 games it's not going to be like a one game and done type of thing.
I like it.
Disney World is 39 square miles.
Disneyland.
Mm-hmm. Almost twice as big as Manhattan, just a little bit smaller in San Francisco. So you're basically dealing with the city that they could do this in. All right. It's as far as what they're going to look at, they're going to have to come up with living areas. All right, there's 3 village areas, and I guess it would
people.
Mm-hmm, and they could play at the places like the HP Fieldhouse. They host annual NCAA basketball tournament, has multiple courts there, and state of broadcasting abilities. There's a thing called the Arena. That's used mainly to host cheer and dance competitions, but it can hold up to 3 basketball courts. And the Visa Athletic Center. It is comparable to an airplane hangar, but it can make into all kinds of things. They've had AAU tournaments often hosted there and gymnastics. So they can really pull this off. which is, I think it'd be cool. I think and I guarantee you, I mean, we talked about this last week as well. The NBA, if anyone's going to pull this off, NBA is going to do it, and they're going to make it look flawless. And meanwhile, we still have the MLB not figuring out their crap at all. That's a problem.
It's a problem.
Yep. Speaking of baseball, the current the collective bargaining agreement right now that is going to expire after the 2021 season it's now being speculated that the new deal will have the universal DH after the 2021 season. I think it's going to happen no matter what. I think once they do the new rules for the 2020 season, if they do have a season and universal DH was going to do it as well, I just think they're just going to say, look how well it worked out. Now we have 15 spots open up for batters only. Pitchers don't have to do anymore. And I'm all for the universal DH. I think overall, the years that we've done this, we've always been in agreement that either go universal DH or no DH. Just go across the board. Am I right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, let's see. The DH was brought into the league in 1973. It was passed by the American League, but not the National League.
Why is that?
They didn't want it. They didn't feel the need to boost the offense. And at the time, National League had won. They had outscored the American League in 7 of the previous 8 seasons, so they didn't see like a reason to boost their offense.
That makes sense.
From 73 to 75, the American League used a DH in all games except for the World Series. From 76 to 85, of that 73 to 75, the American League used a DH in all games except for the World Series. From 76 to 1985, they used it in every other World Series. And finally, in 1986, they landed on the rules of the home ballpark version we have today. Arguments for the universal DH? Pitchers are far more likely to hurt themselves performing skill they rarely practice, so like running down to first, I guess. And like I said, that it opened up 15 more jobs. Arguments against it. Different strategies required to manage a team with the DH are more complex. Pinch hitting, double switching, sacrifice bunts. But and then there's also it's always fun to see a pitcher go yard. Or Bartolo Colon to run, you know?
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, it used to be that they would bunt, but they don't even bunt anymore in baseball, so really, what's the big deal?
Yeah, I think it's BS. I don't like it.
What? You don't like the universal?
I don't like DH.
I do.
I don't. Play if you can't like you know what you
go on.
Babe Ruth is one of my favorite baseball players of all time, and the guy could barely make it to first base without cooking a frying pan full of bacon on his way there. But they should not be able to sub. That's your athletic ability.
True.
This is my opinion.
On Babe Ruth.
Well, it was a joke. Thanks.
Okay, I mean,
maybe
he
it
got
failed
a little
in
fat
this.
when he got old, but I'm just saying the guy.
No, back in the day. But I'm saying athletic ability should be universal. It shouldn't be just one skill set that you have.
Let's. We got Jake. You ready?
Yay.
Ray?
From State Farm?
Yeah, you ready? No, just from Elite Sports. But yes,
All right.
go on. Ready? Go.
Hey, Jake, how's it going, buddy?
Hey, Jake.
Good. How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
Good, brother. How was your holiday weekend?
Not long enough. Happy to weather held off. But good news out of the governor's office today. So
Yeah, what did you guys hear?
we're ready to open, gearing up for June 1st.
Woo!
All right. So what's the story here? What is there? Are there guideline suggestions? What is it? What did the governor say?
The governor pretty much just said, the moratorium or the law that was in place is going to be lifted. Casinos can reopen and a number of other things, including outdoor concert venues. But internally, we have guidelines in place. All of our employees are wearing masks. Everything is at 50% capacity as well. There will be sanitation extra ones put in place, etc. However, we will not require at this time our guests to wear a mask. It will just be very highly encouraged.
Yes.
Did you guys encourage people to walk in with masks before this thing?
Yeah, it's a freaking casino, man.
I mean, would you, if someone came in with a mask into the casino, how quick would security be there?
Yes, yeah. Actually, it was highly discouraged.
Yeah. Well, it's illegal, especially if you have CC. You can't take that in a casino. But people are saying if that carrying a gun is the same as wearing a mask, whatever, it's a right. Well, you can't. You legally cannot carry and wear a mask.
I don't know.
You didn't know that?
I've seen these posts. I never get into it.
Oh, but it's true. You can't.
It's the same thing. So at a blackjack table, you don't have to be distanced?
Yes, they are. There were talks, about a month ago when we were putting together our reopening plan. There will be certain seats taken off of the blackjack table, so there will be less people at the table and
That's
different
gonna
things.
change that.
What are you guys going to do? Put like 24-foot long tables out there, and the
gonna-
dealer has to walk slowly down to each one of them, and now this is your card. And then what are you showing down there? What do you got at third base?
But to increase the odds, you got to cut the deck. You got to make it smaller if you're going to have smaller or not as many people at the table.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not true. You don't have to do that. Don't say that to decrease the odds. The house always wins in blackjack anyway.
I know that's not true.
It's
not true. It's my favorite. It's my favorite. It's my favorite sport, Jay.
So you guys are gonna have like, please stand back here type of thing and all that stuff.
Yeah, yep. The 6-foot social distancing lines, just like you see at the big box stores right now. And
Sports
things like
and the sports book's gonna be open up.
sports books opening up. Really excited. We've extended our new sign-up promotion to August 31st. So if you come in and sign up for a brand new sportsbook account, you'll get a deposit match of 50% up to $200. So I'm excited to kind of get our promotions back up and running.
So if you deposit $200, you guys will match. You guys will throw in an extra $100.
Extra $100 in the form of a free bet. Yep.
Oh wow! Oh, you have to make a $100 bet though. It's not just an extra $100 into your account.
Right.
Gotcha.
And then you can take home the winnings of the free bet.
And the buffet's open?
Buffet will not be open for days. So
Till when?
they're kind of still coming up with some good social distancing guidelines for the buffet. So
I need some crab legs in my life, buddy.
Ruthie's got great crab legs.
Yeah, Jay, just gonna have to pay extra for them.
I'm a buffet crab leg.
Just go to Lead Lobster.
No,
No,
I want the buffet style at the casino.
Oh, with the big daddies.
Yeah.
lead lobster.
Well, that's exciting. What's been opening up gambling wise?
For sports,
Yeah.
right now we're actually running a promotion called the Bundesliga Bundle. The soccer league, professional league that's going. Actually, the German Classicos right now. The number one, Bayern Munich is playing Dortmund, number 2. If you bet on 3 different offerings between now and June 1st, $25 or more, we will give you a $25 free bet back.
Okay. Say that again for me.
So if there's different games going on today and then through the weekend through June 1st, and if you bet at least $25 on 3 of those, we will give you $25 back in free bets.
Okay. That's a good deal. Yeah, so this is a good move moving forward, right? I mean, we're starting to get back to where we need to be. Looks like the NBA is saying that they're going to try to be up and going by July. We're still not certain about the MLB. And the NHL they're moving into phase 2. So we're getting there.
I heard possibly announcing more details at 4 Eastern time today, 3, about the NHL and their future. So it's exciting. UFC is this weekend as well. We're kind of amping up for that. Fight night. So those odds were just posted on the website. More soccer, Costa Rican soccer coming back. The state of Iowa just legalized betting on the Grand Slam tennis, new tennis structure they put together. So we're working to get that live on the site as well. So there's some hope on the horizon. I think we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad to hear that news, though, that you guys get to open up and get up and running June 1st. So,
Mama's coming home.
yeah.
I'll be there.
Oh, mama.
So, but you guys are right now. What's open up out there at Rhythm City?
Currently open Ruthie's.
Yep.
Top floor there, fine dining and steakhouse. If you haven't been there, the view is amazing. Just, I'd say for a drink, but the bars are not open. So, and then Draft Day is open as well. So sports lounge style, craft beers, tables will all spread out at both of those restaurants. The spa is also currently open, so you can book your appointment if you go to rhythmcitycasinoresort.com. And then the hotel is also open, so
Okay.
people are staying the night. Cleaning procedures have been put in place, so it's kind of nice we did that format as a soft opening to prepare for casinos coming live on Monday.
I don't know. I haven't read anything. I don't know how the hotel situation is working. Do they open up pools now, or I know they opened up lap pools and in gyms, but there's the pool's open.
I believe our pool is still closed for the time being,
Okay.
but coming June 1st, I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
If that's going to continue over or not. So
I think they said something about pools not being able to open because there's no way to do social. You can't stay 6 feet away from each other in the pool. That's what the governor said. As far as all the
Which one?
mine,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I don't know. They kind of bounce off each other in a lot of ways, so you never know.
Oh, well, I think that's awesome, and I love the idea that when you guys open up, that up to $200, you guys are going to match them
That's awesome.
up to 50% and get more people signed up. And we're going to get some people that are excited about soccer. And is the table tennis still open up, too?
Oh, yes. Table tennis has been a number one hit for us during this
I
time.
gotta start researching those people.
Yeah.
Figure out the MJ of table tennis. Who is it?
Huh? Yeah, I don't know. You're going to have to do your research. Yeah, you should have to do your research. All right, my man. So June 1st, and so that is Monday? Yeah.
Monday, yep.
Great. Then we're gonna talk to you next Tuesday, and we'll hear how everything went up and running, and yeah, I'll have to pop in there on Monday because I want to see it too. I want to see how this whole thing works.
Hey, Jake.
Yeah.
Real quick. What are you wearing?
Your favorite khakis.
Yes! Love you.
So, do you have to go back into the casinos?
I've actually kind of meeting today at Riverside to kind of discuss, the future of working from home and when we're going back to the office. So,
Interesting.
We'll know more after today since it was just announced. But for new sports coming online and new promotions, I highly recommend people follow us on social media.
Yep.
For different events that are coming up that are draft days. As sports come back online, new wager offerings are added, different things like that. So, light at the end of the tunnel, follow Elite Sportsbook at Elite Sportsbook, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Perfect. Nailed it. All right, Jake, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations on the good news. Look forward to visiting you guys out there at Rhythm City Casino.
Yeah, thanks, guys. We'll see you soon.
Yep,
Yeah,
see you soon.
for sure.
All right, read me an ad. Let's take a break.
All right, everybody. Tim Hernandez wants you to know that.
Yeah?
Sorry.
What does he want us to know?
Well, ID Life, I should say, and Tim Hernandez works for ID Life.
Yeah.
Wants you to be healthier, have more energy, get better sleep, and achieve more focus. ID Life is a health and wellness company, revolutionizing the industry with customized nutrition, Leah Bombs.
Awesome.
The name stands for Individually Designed Life and was founded on the principle that no two people are alike.
They're not.
Tim Hernandez is our guy in the Quad Cities to offer you personalized guidance to help you find a tailored plan just for you. If you have health problems that are holding you back or anything like that, the scientists at ID Life are going to help you develop what nutrients and supplements are going to benefit you the most. So go to qchealth.idlife.com and sign up for an unconditional, I know,
I'll do it next time.
Unconditional 30-day money-back guarantee. Call Tim Hernandez today, 563-508-7221, and he can show you what makes ID Life different.
Is you.
You like that? You like that? Give me a hell yeah. I said give me a hell yeah.
This is Julian Vandervelde, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
ESPN 1170 AM.
We will get our momentum back. Our business is back, our smiles back, ourselves back. Because that's what this community does. At First Midwest Bank, we want to thank our colleagues for doing everything they can to help our clients and our communities get through this. Because we are all in this together. And together, we will get our momentum back. First Midwest Bank. Visit firstmidwest.com. Member FDIC.
Escúchame y decidan levantación ESPN Radio.
There's a great prank that Zach Lowe reported about Michael Carter Williams. the Sixers arrived at the allegedly haunted Pfister Hotel in Milwaukee, Carter Williams arranged with hotel staff to enter the room of each rookie before they could. He removed a vent, he inserted a walkie-talkie, and he sealed the vent shut. Carter Williams, in his room on the other end of the walkie-talkie, whispered menacing threats and nursery rhymes. And he watched the rookies react through baby monitors that he had concealed around the room. Put it on the poll, Guillermo, at LeBatard Show, please. Scarier to hear in your haunted hotel. Menacing threats whispered or nursery rhymes?
The Dan Lebitard Show, 9 till noon on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
River Valley Turf is your family-owned and operated John Deere dealer, specializing in both lawn and garden and commercial equipment. From walk-behind mowers and lawn tractors to utility vehicles and compact tractors with a variety of attachments. Everything to get your toughest job done. They also have a huge inventory of both new and used John Deere outdoor power equipment in stock and ready for your test ride. That's right. Try it before you buy it. Stop in today and see what River Valley Turf has to offer. Conveniently located in Davenport, Silvis, and online at rivervalleyturf.com.
Sweet strawberry icing. You were strolling along in Goodwill when just past that mid-century side table and denim jacket you spotted them, nestled in their display case. Miniature donut earrings. Oh, yes! Yes! Your favorite half-breakfast pastry, half-all-day dessert food, made into your favorite form of ear candy. Oh my. Those bejeweled sprinkles have satisfied some unknown hunger within you. Shh, do you smell that? That's the sugary scent of shopping success. For this is Goodwill. And with every item you buy, you fund local job training and more. So go forth. Bring home those donut earrings. And bring home so much good to your community. Goodwill. Bring good home. Brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
And now an old classic commercial from Mark Brenny.
Excuse me.
Hey, this is the ladies' room, you freak!
Sorry, ma'am. We just sold this bike here.
So why do you have motorcycles in the bathroom?
Well, you see, Brenny's just received the new Suzuki motorcycles and ATVs that have been on order and are finally here. Along with all the parts and new Suzuki accessories, there's just no space left. Just a few short years ago, we built a 20,000 square foot showroom. And now with all this new inventory, we don't have squat for room. Excuse the pun.
Very funny. Hey, you know, I do like this new Suzuki motorcycle.
You should see the GSXRs we got in the men's bathroom, or the 1200 Bandit, or the Marauder that we keep down in the wine cellar. Come to think of it, I've never been in the ladies' bathroom before. Wow, look at all the latex vending machines you got in here.
That's Playtex.
Yuck, now I gotta go.
Bernie's Motorcycle Clinic in Bettendorf across from Alcoa. Almost.
Never miss a thing with the ESPN 1170 app. Listen live from anywhere in the world and be notified when news breaks. This is the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
I'm stealing one of her black cherries, and we're back.
That's the last one, yeah. And we're back, ESPN 1170. Don't hassle us for local. Thanks for listening to us. You can listen to us also on your smartphone or any smart device that you have. Download the app, ESPN 1170 AM. You can also listen on ESPN1170am.com. Click the upper right-hand corner, listen now, and you can listen and watch us on Facebook Live. Leave comments on the Harrington's Pub Facebook comment thread. I'm doing the work in the garage, T-Roy.
I know, you're a worker.
Got the door. I'm going to have to paint the door. Maybe have to get a new door.
If you have to get a new door, you know you should call.
Yes.
Our friend Paul Shelley at Just Doors.
That's right. And he's right.
What's that number again?
The number to get a hold of him is 309-657-8541. And it got me thinking about things. You know, is if you're updating things, your house, because this is what you're doing during these times. You know, you're looking at things like, I can work on a project or I can update this. A front door is always a nice thing to do. It adds appeal, curb appeal. It adds value to your home. And if there's maybe, you know, using things, I know when you take a stimulus check, you're doing things to also pay bills, but you need to stimulate the economy, and you need to also maybe stimulate the eye appeal of it. Maybe get a door from our friends at Just Doors. He says he told me that he got the red ambulance company truck back.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says he's been driving it around town and everything.
Yeah,
so
getting ready to get it all We're going to come up with a plan, an advertising plan.
Okay.
I told him he's going to be our guinea pig.
All right. I like
He's
that.
all excited about it.
Good.
Wait. Last weekend?
You probably can help or whatever else. Actually, I need to make a screen door, so I'm going to do that. What happened? We just failed us? The Facebook? No. Internet couldn't have popped out.
What is going on, fellers?
Anyway. Yeah, we're going to be joined in the second video. Stocking just said on the Harrington Pub Facebook comment there. Video's cutting in and out, and it really shouldn't be. We're going to be joined in just a few minutes by Coach Watchell from Davenport North Baseball. So we're going to talk about how they're planning on getting things going. He's been a coach for quite some time now. He does great things with that program there. I've known Corey since college, actually. We both went to UNI together.
Uh-oh.
So he knows, we know similar people. And then the second half, we're going to play the Forgive and Forget.
Okay.
With
I've already got
former
mine.
sports guys' names out there. T-Roy's got a list, and I'm glad you made a list for me. And we're gonna
I started one. I don't know if I'm missing anybody.
No, well, we can add. And if anyone out there, what we're looking for are people that may have left a little black mark on their career, their legacy, or sport, and after we've moved on, because we are a forgiving society. If we think it's sincere, we move on. Usually, all right. I mean,
Depends
people
on
like
the
A-Rod.
severity of
People like
the-
A-Rod. They like him on Baseball Tonight or when he does Sunday Night Baseball. They follow him on TikTok.
But everybody's got their standards, and there's certain things people cannot forgive.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends on, like I said, the severity of the crime or event or action.
Or severity of crime, or the severity of your sincerity.
Your values.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The conviction of your...
There are certain things that, like, for example, Mike Vick can't, animal cruelty can't, unforgivable. To me.
A lot of
to
people
me.
feel differently.
Exactly.
You feel like
and you have the right to feel differently, but
We
that's
will
just
talk about
me.
I just don't know. Honestly, as the more and more I was thinking about this when I was driving here. I don't think I have a lot of F that guy in me on the list.
I don't either.
Well, Addison Russell.
Yeah, he beat his wife, right?
Okay.
I got a lot of F that
Will you
guy
put
on
on
my
that
list.
list for me, and we'll get to the second half of the second hour.
David Justice. I mean, the list. Can I have a piece of paper? I need to make a list.
You just give me the name. All you gotta do is give me the name. I'll write it in.
David Justice.
I put it down.
All right.
Yeah, we're gonna do it if you need.
You got paint on your watch there, Jay.
I told because I'm painting the
He's
garage. I'm a
Hey,
worker.
that boy is a painting fool.
I'm a worker now.
Yeah. I'm a worker now. I'm a
Will
regular
worker be?
Hence the sweatband.
Yeah.
Bomber.
Now this is the hair.
So who's the guy you want to add, Jay? You said you were going to add someone to the list.
Yeah. We're going to add Penn State University, Michigan State University, Ohio State University.
Thank you.
So we're adding those to the list of people that may, and we'll get to that, though.
There you go.
Coach Watchell, sit right over here, my friend.
He's in the house.
How you doing? Good to see you.
Hi. Welcome.
All right, in studio right now.
He didn't lie, folks. We really have Coach Watchell here.
From Davenport North Baseball, Coach Corey Watchell. How long have I known you now, Corey? When did you step campus on UNI?
90,
fall
of 96.
Fall of 96. So we're looking at 24 years.
Wow.
That's right.
Feels bad for Corey.
That's exactly how old I am.
And then
Make me feel old.
Yeah. How? When did you get the job at North?
So I started coaching there as an assistant in 98, and then been the head coach since 2005.
Okay.
So 16 years this year.
And then was that under Call?
No, so I played under Ken Call.
Yeah.
Then he retired in 99. Chris Dilly took over for a year or two,
okay.
and then
you know Dilly.
Tom Newhouse took over from 2002, 2004.
Gotcha. So let's get slowly into it, and then we'll talk about June 1st, and then we get to play. Get to ask you some questions, and we're gonna play a game called Forgive and Forget type of thing. All right. So how long you obviously you went to North?
Yep.
And you played baseball there?
Yes. Been a long time. So I played 4 years at North and went to UNI, and I was just kind of wasn't sure what I was going to do. Went to walk on. Things didn't work out, and came back. And I'd always wanted to get into coaching. I really respected Coach Call and what he did, and just kind of hopped in. And he offered me a volunteer job right away, and spent 2 years volunteering with the varsity. And I've been everywhere: freshman coach, sophomore assistant, varsity assistant. And then in 2005, Tom Newhouse decided he was going to hang it up. We went to state, 31-9 that year. Won a conference title, and he decided to hang it up, and they offered me the job. So just kind of luckily walked into it, and have been there ever since. So I'm North through and through. I don't think you can find a more dedicated Davenport North person than me.
How many times have you guys gone to state?
So we've gone 4 times. 3 under me, 1 under Coach Newhouse, 2012, 13, and 15.
It's really impressive. Because some of those, you guys were like about 500.
Yeah, so the first year we went in 2012, we were, I think we were 9 and we were under 500. And we figured out by the time we got to the state tournament, if we won all the way through, we would have finished with a 500 record. I think we were the 5 or the 6 seed in the sub-state that year. We upset PV in the first round. We had to play Central. Central actually upset the team they were playing, so we got to play them in the second round, and then we had to beat Bettendorf in the third round, and that was an exciting game. They were all close games, and 13, we had pretty much the same nucleus back, same group of kids, and then 15 was really nice for a number of different reasons, but kind of started fresh. We didn't have anybody on that team that went to state in 12 or 13. Dantley Johnson put us on his back as a pitcher and carried us. We had some kids that came up with some nice hits, and it was the most memorable game for me ever. We played at Brady Street in the sub-state championship game. I went extra innings. I think we won 3-1 that game, but there were 5 innings where they had guys on second and third with less than 2 outs, and we just kind of scratched and clawed our way through it. And it's a great memory for us. And there's nothing better than celebrating on somebody else's field when you go to state. I mean, in 13 we got to celebrate on our field, but just something about being somewhere else and not the look that they have to give you, but you shake hands in the dog pile, and it's fun anywhere. But it was special because Central's such a big rival for us.
Growing up, did you play travel ball? Or maybe
no,
just
so I played Little League and Pony League growing up. So travel ball was around, but it wasn't really a big thing. I think there was a Davenport Dodgers team I tried out for, and I made it, and it was like 3 weeks, and I just said, this just doesn't. I didn't know many of the guys on the team, and it just didn't seem like it was a good fit for me. So I went back, and I think I was playing Pony League at that time. But travel ball's really exploded here in the last 10, 15 years. It's completely different than it was when I was around.
Dude, now as far as like your feeder system, did you create that at Davenport North?
Yeah, so we started, I want to say it was right around 2012. TJ Sheedy, who's a parent of some North kids, kind of got the ball rolling and wanted to create something for his kids growing up, and got a lot of different sports involved. He ran a program in the summer that exposed kids to all the sports at North. The coaches came in for a week, gave him like a little mini camp, and he kind of got the whole thing going. But he approached us and asked, would we be interested in having a feeder team? We jumped on it that first year. I think we only had like 2 or 3 teams, just age-wise, but it kind of grew, and it's kind of gone some different ways since then. But I would be hesitant to say that hasn't had a huge impact on what we've done at North High School. That the feeder group that TJ Sheedy really got rolling.
Didn't we had I don't know what age group it was, but they won state. I know it was Tony Pauly's kid Bryce was on it.
Yep.
What age group was that?
Oh, I think
it's like 12U or 11U. I think it's 11U.
8th or 7th graders.
Well, you and I have talked a lot too, just about how programs that don't have this feeder type thing going on. I mean, just you have to have it start no matter what sport it is. You have to have it growing to come in.
Yeah.
That way like you coach, being the head coach, you understand what's going down, what's happening below you are philosophies that you care about and things that are important to you. So that way, when you get the kids, they've been coached the correct way. You're not starting over per se with anybody, and they're following a discipline that you can put your head around, right?
Do you feel like when you get coaches in the feeder system, you're passing down your coaching philosophy?
Well, I mean, we've run coaching camps and coaching clinics where we have the coaches come in and try and explain, how the terminology we use, how we want things taught. We get kind of mixed attendance on that. Some guys show up, some guys don't want to be told what to do. It really only takes 1 or 2 coaches to kind of flip it and drive it away from the driving force. I know when this feeder program started, the intention from the people who got it going was, we weren't going to kill the little leagues. We weren't going to do any of that stuff. And, we had a couple teams in there where they decided they wanted to play 100 games. And the initial intent was just to have local tournaments where kids could, play around the area and not have to spend a whole lot of money. Because, you can play on the Hitmen, you can play on the Heat, you can drop $3,000 without thinking twice about it. And that wasn't the initial intent. Now it's kind of grown into something else, which is good in its own right. We're getting more, kids are more involved in it than they were before, and it means more to them, which is a great thing. But, it's just, baseball is such it's a sport that if you watch it on TV, no one's going to sit down and watch a 3-hour baseball game because it just takes forever. And we really want to get kids involved and keep them excited. And, you just kind of worry about burning out kids sometimes. But, the coaches we have done a great job preparing kids for our program, and we're very appreciative of everything they've done.
And you guys do double headers. So
yeah. So a game day, I always tell parents, they got the easy job sitting in the stands for 5 hours. The game start at 5 and 7, and that second game rarely starts at 7. And you'll get Matt Koss out there scrambling through questions because he wants to get that article typed and turned in before the deadline. But as coaches, I'm there at usually around 2, either mowing the infield or dragging the field, chalking. Kids come in about 3:15 to hit. Get themselves ready to go. 4 o'clock, the whole team goes out and stretches. We do the warm up, and then the game ends. And kids all have assigned duties to do. But there's a lot of nights for home games where you're there by 2 and you're getting home, walking through the door about 11:30, 11:15 at night, just depending on the day. And
it's dedication.
It is. It's a long day sometimes, but you hate to say you hope for the road trip to Burlington, but sometimes it feels like you get to the park later and you get home earlier than you do when you have a home game sometimes.
Yeah. So with Iowa being a summer sport in baseball and in softball, do you find it harder to get kids out for those sports?
The problem we've started to run into lately has been in the summer, everybody wants their athletes. Basketball wants their kids playing in summer leagues. Football wants their kids playing in 7-on-7 and other leagues. And it's really hard for us to keep kids committed to baseball when they're getting pulled in so many directions. And we have a number of kids who play multiple sports. I don't think we'd make it very well at North if we didn't have kids that played multiple sports, because you have the same names at a lot of the programs. But a kid will come in and you'll be in the weight room at 7 and they'll go. We try and stagger things because we work pretty well with the other coaches about making sure that kids can get to other events and stuff. So kid will go to the weight room at 7. They go to open field football for an hour, come over to baseball practice, and then in the afternoon it's basketball games. Maybe they have a summer league game that night. But kids are spending hours at school working on this stuff. So we lose some kids because they don't want to do that, and I understand that. But at the same time, I'm not telling any kid that you need to miss a football game or football practice to go to some baseball event in the fall. And the football coaches, the basketball coaches are all really good at North about working with us. And we try and explain to the kids that in-season comes first. And, if you can't do that, then you need to kind of evaluate how bad you want to play the sport. And my program's not going to be successful if we have kids that aren't committed to it, just like football's not going to be successful if the kids aren't committed to that.
Do you find yourself using social media to communicate with your athletes more?
More so than I ever have. We have a Twitter account. We have a Facebook account. The Facebook, I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of hot and cold with that, kind of running through it. Kids tell me they don't even use Facebook anymore. Yeah. So we try and stay on Twitter. We have a Remind account that we have all the kids involved in. So if I'm sending messages to the kids, usually it's through the Remind account. But working at the school, I see all the kids. They'll come in and talk to me. Usually I have to tell, who the kid is, you have to tell, so everybody knows what's going on. So I'll tell this kid, hey, we need to make sure this happens. And then 10 minutes later, 25 kids coming in going, oh, is this, we meeting tonight after school?
So with the Remind account, does that come up as like a notification on their phone?
Yeah, so it's basically a safe way for me to send a message without, a number of people having my phone number. The kids sign up for it. Parents can sign up for it. That's a good way for us to get information to everybody. And then we actually have 4 of them. We have a general baseball account. We have a freshman, a sophomore, and a varsity account. So all my coaches are, in charge of that. So that's how we ask them to communicate. I'm on all of them. So if somebody gets a message at the freshman level, I'm getting that message too. It's just an easy way for me to stay involved. But, we're kind of limited we can't have so many meetings with the kids, official meetings. The state says we're only allowed to have 1 in the off season. We have many informal meetings or informal gatherings that happen. But, Twitter, something comes up. I love Twitter because I'll see a video, I can put it on Twitter, and I'll see exactly who liked it or who retweets it. I think that's a good way to keep the kids, interacting with me.
Who unfollowed you?
Yeah.
Because they didn't like what you did.
That happens, but we have those discussions privately in the office. So.
That's awesome.
All right. Well, let's talk about June 1st and what the state, the guidelines, the suggestions, and everything else that's coming up. What is it that is June 1st, June 15th, and then we'll put in the meat to the bones after that.
So June 1st is the official start date for what we're allowed to do. The state sent out some guidelines last Wednesday. Kind of felt like everything kind of got rushed. They announced that they're going to have more things to follow. I know the ADs are plan to meet today to kind of hash out their own sets of guidelines for what game days and practices should look like. There's a lot of questions that we're still kind of waiting answers on, but what the state has said, they don't want kids to use the dugouts on June 1st. Concession stands are to be closed. They want kids to be spaced apart, so we have to have, bags can be placed 6 feet apart all around the field. They haven't said anything about masks. They want sunflower seeds and that kind of stuff. No spitting. There's just
seeds.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
What about tobacco? Chew tobacco.
I don't know anything about that.
Good golly.
I told my kids not till they're 12. So.
Yeah, to 12. That's a good age.
Yeah, that's good.
You're usually ready to go by then.
They can't drive me home from the bar till they're 14.
That's right.
All right, so they don't want you. They don't want you in the dugouts. You can't have seeds. High fives not allowed.
They haven't made any sort of stipulation on that, but I'm sure coming down they'll want to limit the contact. I think, and I understand what the state's doing because they're kind of in a bind here. If a team has an outbreak or a group of kids get sick, they're going to be the ones that get everything pinned on them.
Mm-hmm.
And I completely understand that. My dad had it and passed away from it. He was a healthy guy, just kind of came out of nowhere. And then 3 weeks later, he was in a hospital room dead. And, it's kind of been hard for me. I understand everything the state's doing, but, everyone needs to know what they're putting out and what the conference puts out, what the districts put out or teams put out. Everything is in the safety of the kids and parents and coaches. So I've talked to a number of coaches, and they're rightfully concerned. They'll have an older coach on staff, maybe he has some health issues. Being out in the summer in the sun isn't, a detriment to his health. But if you have asymptomatic kids that could possibly spread the disease, now we're looking at other things that can come up. And, people can say, well, that could happen with anything. And you're right. I could leave here and step off the curb and get hit by a car. That's entirely possible. But if it's something that we can prevent and have an opportunity to at least limit the spread or limit the damage that can happen to people, I think we need to at least take a look at possibly doing that.
First thing, sorry for your loss.
About that.
Absolutely.
Do you have anybody like on staff that is just like, hey, I don't know if I feel right coming back? Or do you have any parents that are like, I don't really know if they should be doing this until we get more information?
I haven't heard anything about that. I asked my coaches, once I was told that we were going to go, I've just been flooding my coaches. We had a couple meetings. I was trying to assign duties and trying to get things organized. I never really asked if anybody was nervous about doing this. So over the weekend, I just kind of said, hey, I just want to make sure you guys are interested. If you're having any reservations about it, just let me know. We'll work through it. We'll figure out how this is going to work. And they've all said, we're good, we're in, and they're excited to go. I haven't had any parents, question anything that's happening yet. I'm not sure if that, moving forward, if that's something that may come up. But I'm just trying to stress to everybody, if you're nervous about it or you're having any apprehensions about doing this, then don't do it. Mm-hmm. Don't do this just to, well, everyone else is doing it, so I have to do it. That's not what we want. If your family is concerned about you, don't go out and maybe take the year off. We're not going to hold it against you. You come back next year and we're ready to go. But at the same time, there's no assurances that in 6 months anything's different than it is right now, or a year. This may just be the new normal that we're dealing with from here on out.
Before we get to talking about the 15th, do you find that because of the break in school, kids they had spring break and then they never came back, that you might lose like a kid who was a senior, interested in maybe coming out? He's an athlete. Let's just not say he's not going to be in your starting 9. that he's just like, I'm over it?
Yeah, I mean, there's always that concern. Seniors are always the one that you're worried about, because if you have a kid who's not going to play a lot or thinks they're going to play, and then as the season gets closer, they realize maybe I'm not going to be the third baseman or the second baseman. They start thinking about, do I really want to devote my whole summer to this, to sit on the bench and maybe get 15 at bats? So that's always a concern. Now, I mean, with this break, at least in the past, we start our off-season workouts in February. So, I mean, we're around the kids. They're hitting on their own. We open up the doors, let them go in and hit. We run our pitching workouts. So we're at least around the kids. So if you see somebody's down, you say something to them, maybe get their morale up a little bit. But, if you're not around them, I mean, that's a valid point that everyone's going to kind of need to figure out what they're going to do. Do I want to sit on the bench? And it's an abbreviated season. It's 5 weeks, but 5 weeks is a long time to, pick splinters out your rear end. So,
so
it hurts.
They gave you the practice idea of it, and I know the ADs are coming together. Do they have any type of suggestions as far as like fans go?
So I've read a number of different
we're looking
things.
at June 15th is when you can have your first game, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
and your schedule is usually Monday, Thursday. You play conference games.
Yes.
Okay.
So what the state put out is, bleachers are allowed, but they want everyone to be spaced out. So I'm not sure what Davenport is going to do or what the conference is going to do. I've heard everything from they're going to take the bleachers out and you need to bring your own chairs, but they keep saying 6 feet away. Now, I don't know how you enforce that. Something that has been mentioned, and I don't know where it's at, is limiting spectators. So kids would get a certain number of people that would be on a list that they're allowed to see. I don't know what the answer is. People that make way more money than me can come up with those decisions, but it's the same thing. You don't want grandma and grandpa to come watch, junior play and, leave with something else other than a good time. So
I'm fine with what you said. We've talked about this. My daughter plays softball, and we just want to get back as well. I'm fine with there being a list, a VIP list.
Yeah.
And with this day and age, with how much going on Facebook Live or whatever else, grandma, grandpa, aunts, and uncles, they can watch on Facebook Live when Tim comes up to bat or whatnot. And the other thing is, if you can't use the dugout and they have to be sitting by their parents, maybe the parents are getting more involved to figure out what the order is and be like, hey, you're in the hole.
Right.
Get your stuff going. Instead of like complaining about dumb stuff, they get more involved in that way. Like, hey, I need to be helpful here, and I need to get your helmet, stop eating a Hershey's bar, this and that. So I'm all for that. I'm all for limiting, the number of spectators. And the other thing is, I also said that it's fine if the umpire doesn't get behind the dish, then that's fine. We do it in practice all the time. Yeah. I mean, you're standing behind the pitcher, calling balls and strikes, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. The one time I'm not going to argue with Bill, the umpire, when he's standing behind there. If I do, and I go, hey, a little tight there, and he looks, the strike zone's getting a little tight, huh?
Yeah.
And he looks in the dugout, I'm going to go, you're cool, I'm sorry. Yeah, thanks for being here, I appreciate you.
That's one of the misconceptions that a lot of people have, and I'm not one to shy away from going out and talking to an umpire, but I can't tell you in 16 years, you can probably count, on one hand how many times I've gone out and said that call was absolutely wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's always, how did you see it like that? I didn't think you were in position. I don't think you're applying the rule correctly. It's all discussions like that, and I may look fired up, but I'm not out there, trying to berate somebody, and I'm trying to get answers to a question about what happened, about what they saw, and if he's blind, he's blind. But if that's what he saw, that's what he saw. And I've never changed a call from an umpire, but I've made him think when I tell him, maybe you're not applying the rule right. Yeah. Maybe you don't understand the rule. That's maybe down the road, somebody else benefits from that conversation, but.
Yeah, I need to write these down. Apply the rule. I think you were out of position. I don't think you applied the rule right. I don't know if you were in position. What are you seeing that I'm not? These are the ones I need to work to sweet talk them instead of just get in there and get really after it.
I had an umpire one time tell me that, umpires love coming to North and love doing our games because they know if I come out to talk to them that it was a rule that's an issue. And you can develop a reputation with umpires and umpires. They talk about players and fans and coaches. And it's no secret they hold a grudge. They may not knowingly, change a call or make a call wrong for somebody, but it's sitting in the back of their head. I have no doubt in my mind that happens. But, an umpire once said they always know when they come to North that they need to know the rule book and they need to know what's going on, because if something's wrong, I'm going to make sure I let them know that it was incorrect.
Stocking ever do a game for you guys?
You know, he works the press box for us, and he's great. You know, somebody like that has dedicated their lives to kids. You know, how do you not like somebody like that? And
well, because he argues with you on the air all the time, Coach. That's why.
He
tries to come up with these lame brain ideas.
He's
and
quirky.
they're lame brain. That's how you get mad at Stocking. But other than the other stuff you bring up, he's just great. I hope he's listening.
By all means, him and I have had some arguments about some impressive things before, and he takes it in directions that I never knew existed. But,
oh God!
You know, as far as someone who's devoted their lives to helping out kids, I don't think you can find a better person.
No,
I think
he's a really good person.
Maybe when I coached younger, he did.
He's on here, and back to something we mentioned, Coach. He said the lineup is hard to keep track of for those paying attention. I mean, it's hard enough to keep track of those paying attention. Next to impossible for parents who are more interested in what their kid does. Not with apps these days. Not if they're all on an app.
That's true. You know, we don't use the iScore or any of those iPad apps.
Yeah.
I'm still I'm a book guy.
By the way, don't, because you're going to then involve. Actually, now I'm taking this back, because what you're doing then is you're allowing the parent into your world and to be like, I see the batting average is here, and why is my kid not batting there?
Yeah, and that happens. You know,
well, that's what will happen if they have the access to a lineup and then all this other stuff and be like,
Well, I mean, all of our stats are on Quick Stats. I think it's Varsity Bounds, the name of the app now, but we have to put all that stuff on there anyway. And you get those conversations. You know, little Timmy's batting 270. Why is he batting ahead of Johnny, who's batting 225? But I mean, that's going to happen no matter what. But I just think, there's some parts of the game that the coaches only know about. We see everything that happens at practice, and the high score is great. We have a parent who does it from the stands and posts it out so people can see, and I'm perfectly fine with that. If that's what she wants to do, I'm okay with that. But there's just something about a score book. And
I love a good book.
Yeah.
If you keep a good book, it's like telling a story. You could read it and be like, oh, look at that. It was 2-0 at that at bat before they came back.
You do love a good book.
I do love a good book. Like
I can see you getting excited about.
I love a good book.
Yeah.
Like it is the best.
Properly kept book.
Well, this is what happens, by the way, when you ride the pine in high school baseball. You've got to have a job, and you got to be if you really like it, you got to be good at it. And so that was I learned right away that I like keeping a book, so I better get good at it. Now the apps are taking over and everything.
That's why you write a blog, Jay.
Well, no.
Mini books.
No, I want to keep score, though, whatever. So that's good, though. Anyway.
I still have the score sheets from all those games that we went to state and the games we played at state. And I keep the pitching chart, during the game. So I have all those stapled together. So I'll go back and look and I'm like, oh, yeah, man, that fifth inning, how do we get out of that? Second and third, nobody out, and Dantley pitched his way out. And just kind of relive that stuff. And I look at the book and I look at the pitching chart and I can see every single pitch and every single action from the game that happened. And maybe that makes me, a little nerdy. I'm okay with that.
No,
nerdy
great.
is cool these days.
Yeah.
How has recruiting changed? Getting your athletes that want to play in college, how has that changed at all? Or
yeah, so when you and I were around,
yep.
I don't know if you remember, but they used to have every year at Brady Street, the Braves or the Indians would have some sort of tryout where you came and you ran, and if you ran a certain time, you got to stay and play catch, and if you threw a certain distance or threw hard enough, then you got to hit, and that's kind of how the MLB went about their stuff. It is nothing like that anymore. So we went through a time where we were getting a lot of coaches coming to games, and now everything is these evaluation camps and evaluation clinics. And if you want to get noticed, you have to go to Iowa's camp, or you have to go. The State Coaches Association at the end of the year has a junior day where the top juniors in the state can go and be around 100 coaches from the Midwest that are looking for players. And these are the tools that you use. There was a kid from Clinton a couple years ago, went to one of these clinics and just had a phenomenal day. And the coach told me, oh yeah, Iowa offered him on the spot. They watched him run the 60 and they saw him throw and they saw him hit. And I asked him, I said, he went 0 for 7 against us with 6 strikeouts. Like,
you don't see it. Yeah.
I just don't see it. But he went and he had a good career at Iowa and played all right. I think he was from Burlington. But yeah, it's stuff like that happens nowadays. And do you meet the numbers? Do you meet the measurables? And if you want to play, there's plenty of colleges. They'll find somewhere for you to go play. We can find you a school to go to. I still get letters from, Cornell and Luther and all those D3 schools in the Midwest. But if you're a big-time player, you have to be doing these evaluation camps and clinics.
All right. We're going to take a break. Oh, before we take a break, one more question. Do you have, I know you said it's people that get paid higher than you or whatever. So do you have any idea if your athletic director said, like, this is what we kind of look for, how many games you're going to get?
So the way I understand, all the conferences are going to do their conference games, and then anything you want to add on that is going to be completely up to you. So we have, contracts with teams that we were scheduled to play. And my understanding is every team that was contracted to play us has asked to be released for the year, because they have to make sure that they can get those conference games in.
Yeah.
Now, we're in a different situation. We only have 9 teams, so we only have 16 conference games scheduled. The Mississippi Valley, Cedar Rapids, Dubuque, Iowa City.
MVC, CIML.
They have 30 conference games scheduled, and I don't think they're going to play all 30, but
no,
it's going to be hard for us to find some games, I think.
Well, that's what the athletic directors are there to do.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to play a game, Coach.
Okay.
We all miss baseball.
Yeah, I love games.
Let me tell you about Bayside Bistro in the village of East Davenport. Bayside Bistro is not your ordinary sandwich shop. You won't find deli meat on their menu. They use fresh ingredients only, and orders are made to order from scratch. From paninis like the Bayside Po' Boy and the roasted green bean salad, Bayside Bistro has an incredible menu that specializes in deliciousness. And don't forget about their smoothies and fresh juices that they make, and their incredible dinner entrees. Don't take our word for it. Check out their Facebook page and read the over 500 recommendations from guests. Stop by Bayside Bistro today at 1105 Christie Street in the East Village of Davenport.
You like that? You like that? Give me a hell yeah. I said give me a hell yeah.
Hey, this is Goose, PA announcer for the Quad City Storm, and you're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
ESPN 1170 AM.
Sheedy Family Chiropractic is your choice for chiropractic care in the Quad Cities. Chronic problems, joint pain, or recent injury, don't let pain slow you down. Sheedy Family Chiropractic in Davenport can help decrease your pain and improve range of motion, keeping your busy life moving. Same-day appointments available most days for new patients and $20 sports physicals. Call today or visit SheedyChiro.com. That's SHEEDY Chiro.com. Sheedy Family Chiropractic, getting you back to work, play, and life.
Escúchame, y decidan levantación ESPN Radio.
Brooks Koepka put up a picture yesterday of a steak with asparagus. And then Christian Smith sees this photograph and says, meanwhile, people can't make their bills, but it's so nice you have an expensive dinner. Christian Smith doubles down with tone deaf. And Brooks Koepka comes back at him with, what have you done to help big guy? And then here's the third person entering the mix. Scott Van Pelt makes an appearance and says, the guy is having a steak. You're really doing this? Why are people like this? It's such a good question. Why are people like this? Guillermo put it on the poll at Levitard Show. Why are people like this? Yes or no?
I think it's the asparagus. I mean,
The Dan Le Batard Show, 9 till noon on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
We will get our momentum back. Our business is back, our smiles back, ourselves back. Because that's what this community does. At First Midwest Bank, we want to thank our colleagues for doing everything they can to help our clients and our communities get through this. Because we are all in this together. And together, we will get our momentum back. First Midwest Bank. Visit firstmidwest.com. Member FDIC.
Sí, very intrigued by the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
In the history of this company, there's never been a more public liar than you. What are you doing to end phone conversations? Like, how are you ending them? You can't, it's not, I gotta go. No, you don't. Right. So you're ending these calls how?
there's always a way, Dan. Where there's a will, there is a way. So I will either tell them that, hey, I got to walk the dog. Hey, my mom is calling on the other line. Hey, my dad needs groceries. I got to go pick him up, and I got to take him up to his house.
You have an
assortment
assortment of lies.
I could send you like 2025, and we'll get you through a couple of days, and then when you need to refresh, I'll send you another 2025 if you need them, okay?
You can write a book during this pandemic, a helpful how to get off the phone for idiots.
The Dan Le Batard Show, 9 till noon on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
Attention homeowners! We know March, April, and May mean mild weather and the slowest months of the year for our business. So we've got great news for you. TMI is slashing prices and giving away deluxe furnaces for half price with the purchase of air conditioning. That's right, half price furnaces. Great utility and manufacturer rebates, plus this half off sale means huge savings. Don't miss out on this opportunity to get the best deal of the year. Estimates are free, so call today. TMI, heating, air conditioning, and plumbing.
So you're what they call an industrial athlete, but this ain't no gym. You're working hard. You got the right tools to get the job done? Would you play football and roller skates? I don't think so. So if your gear is beat up, tore up, all around mucked up, come on in and boot up at Quad City Safety, 5311 Tremont Avenue, Davenport. Or check us out at quadcitysafety.com.
From the Sheedy Family Chiropractic Studios, this is the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM, KPOB, Davenport.
All right, Quad Cities, we're back here in the Hassle Castle, brought to you by Dunright Satellite and Dish, and this is Don't Hassle Us Local on AM 1170.
T-Roy, we talked about the weather,
We
and
did.
you said it's supposed to just a little bit of chance tomorrow, right?
Well, yeah, we got a little bit of a chance tomorrow, 100% chance on Thursday.
And then
but
after
that doesn't
that-
mean like all day. That looks like a thunderstorm.
Okay.
So 100% chance of a thunderstorm on Thursday. So it could be early. Let's hope it's early, and then we have a great afternoon. But then 7 days in a row.
Love
Great weather, Jay.
Well, we're going to encourage all our friends to go visit Hidden Hills Golf Course at 4335 Indiana Avenue in Bettendorf, just
See Big
north of the TBK Plex.
And Vans, where you
And
can order
Vans.
food to go
Mhm.
to there.
And go check out Hidden Hills. I know they just had a golf tournament yesterday there, but they have 4 bonus holes. You can also take the family on Sunday to have a family fun day Sunday. Call them for rates and everything. They obviously they're adhering to the social guidelines as well.
Yes, they are.
But give Mike a call out there, 563-332-5616. I know they're always coming up with new things. I'm pretty sure they're probably going to have some type of Father's Day tournament thing that's coming up. And we'll definitely be able to just remind everybody the 4 bonus holes, the practice area that they got out there. And it's time to get out, enjoy the weather. And so tee it up and go, right?
That's right.
Do you golf, Corey? Coach? Watch
I mean, Corey's fine. I don't know. Sometimes I don't do it well.
Does it mess up your fungo swing?
You know, I found growing up, like, I can't. I got so used to hitting everything up the middle with my baseball swing that I just can't get the golf swing figured out. And I thought once I got out of playing a lot that it would make my golf swing better. And it just seems fungo just seems to make it worse. Like I'm all wrist action. And it's just bad. So I go out and play, but
you're turning over on a golf ball and you're hooking it.
I'm doing everything. Like my hands get slow. I turn over on it, and I mean, I'm great on either fairway to my right and left, but the fairway in front of me, I don't even know where that is.
If you just joined us, and on the Harrington's Pub Facebook comment thread, Erickson said I played in the tournament out at Hidden Hills, and he did a great job, and the course is in great shape. If you're just joining us, Coach Watchell's in from Davenport North Baseball, and so real quick. We talked about the seeds. Do you choose seeds?
I'm a gum guy.
Okay, then you're gonna be okay.
Me too.
Well,
always.
I'm seeds guy all the way through, and not flavored, by the way. In case you were wondering,
What do you mean?
There's no
you want them
ranch.
salted?
There's no ranch. There's no barbecue. There's no Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Supreme.
What about sea salt? Sea salt. Do you like sea salt?
I just like my sunflower seeds the way they're supposed to
But
be. Sunflower
I
seeds.
eat the seeds. I eat the shell too. Same with shell.
Oh.
I eat the peanut shells as well.
Get out of here.
I swear.
What's
That's how
wrong with
I've
you?
because the flavor's on the outside.
You don't know how to eat a sunflower seed.
I don't think I've seen a regular bag of seeds in our dugout in 5 years.
You like it
without the shell?
It's just barbecue ranch.
I do. I'll eat it anyway.
I
but
like the seeds. I like sunflower seeds without the shell. too. I don't like the work.
I just like to chew it all.
Give
swallow.
me so
it's
do
good
you
roughage.
are you a fan of a team in Major League Baseball?
I am a diehard San Diego Padres fan.
Really?
Wow.
Tony Gwynn took care. And okay, hold on. So They went to the World Series in '96 in the fall.
Yep.
So you're 18. So if I take that 10 years, if I take 8 years away from that, 88. I'm trying to figure out
How
why.
old were you in '84?
So
he would have been 6. I don't know. Yeah, right around there.
And
Yeah.
you know, and Tony Gwynn's a great Padre, but the guy that sold me on the Padres, ironically enough, is Ryan Klesko.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's recent. So I had family that lived out there, and we'd make bets on stuff, and I'd win or lose.
You have family out there?
I did.
Okay,
They moved. So
it's a beautiful area.
Yeah, it is, and I would be out there tomorrow if I could get my wife to go with me.
On MLB, they were doing classic games, and they had. I got really excited. I've told you about this. I got really excited because it had the Cubs versus the Padres '84. And I hit record on the DVR.
Steve Garvey.
Because I thought it was Game 5. Or Game 5.
Yeah.
And it was just Game 1. Because I'm positive. I remember being a kid in '84, and there was this crazy woman that would stand up every time Sutcliffe would pitch, and she did this voodoo hex on him. She would rotate her arm. So I'm like, this is finally it. I've never found the game on YouTube. I'm like, this is finally it. And then when I read it, I'm like, Game 1, I'm like, jeez.
Just wait.
I just want it. Yeah, so.
Jeez.
Anyway, so San Diego Padres, diehard. Does it stay there in San Diego? Do you have a football team?
I'm an Eagles fan, and that goes back to Randall Cunningham days. Like, I'm all over the place.
All right, NBA?
I can't win with this guy.
NBA?
No,
I mean, it's great you're Padre, but I'm a Cowboy fan. I mean, come on, man.
NBA, no.
No.
I mean...
Is there any NHL?
No, not really.
Okay. Anyone on the MTV The Challenge that's your favorite?
Oh, Bananas.
Yeah, see?
Johnny Banana.
Number 4, yeah, Banana's the best.
What is wrong with you people? What is wrong with you
the
people?
best. That's awesome. Okay, we're going to play a game.
He just
Yes,
says
I'm
bananas.
ready. I got my
like,
list.
it's
Everybody knows
like
it.
everybody
Everyone
on the
knows
planet should know
I'm so
bananas.
excited him and Wes are working together
Yes,
this year.
he's in the challenge. This
I
is
love
great.
the challenge.
Did you get in our league?
Is the Miz on?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I didn't.
Yeah, him and Wes together. They're gonna unleash this game. They're letting all these rookies run around, do all this stuff.
Love it.
It's gonna be great.
Don't look at my list. He's copying.
All right.
Teacher, he's copying.
No. There's no list.
All
right.
agreeing to go off the same
Yeah, we're gonna talk about. We're gonna bring it up. We're gonna again, Coach. You've listened to the show before.
Oh, yeah.
Do you listen to podcasts at all?
So we listened during lunchtime at North. We got the radio on,
Okay.
and there's 4 or 5 of us in the office. And
It's a good one.
it's dead
huh?
silent during lunch. I was just listening to you guys.
And arguing about these guys are idiots. So,
the only day that it's been bad was the day you guys went on Taco Pizza, and that was early on. And we were sitting there, and one of the guys said, "I thought this was a sports show," and I said, "It's like everything.
It's not.
Like,
Yeah, it's
we
not.
do it all. Like
when we
local
had
stuff.
the actual taco pizza.
Yeah,
on there?
yeah,
Well,
the
that was
Taco
because of
Pizza
Rosso.
challenge.
He said that it wasn't Happy Joe's one of the best. So thanks to those guys for bringing in pizza. All right. So again, I was listening to Simmons and Russillo, and I was like, you know what, it's right. Lance Armstrong, 30 for 30 was on. So we're trying to we're in a forgiving society. Obviously, we're coming up on a week from Sunday will be McGuire and Sammy Sosa 30 for 30 documentary. The forgiving society, we're like, okay, well, they said they were wrong. We forgave them, and we move on. We're going to look at a list of people that may have left a black mark on their legacy, on the sport, their personality, and we're going to all give our gauge on do you forgive or whatever.
Here's the 3 gauges, Jay. I figured that we can do it in 3 stages. Okay. No, we don't forgive. We're 50-50, or yes, we forgive.
So there's an F that guy one. F that guy, don't forgive him.
That's no.
Okay,
That's
so
no.
who gets to go where? F that guy. Okay.
F that guy, forgive that guy, or
yeah, like whatever. Yeah. You can have an opinion. I don't have an opinion.
I like it.
I can do that. You can have an opinion. I have an opinion.
So F no, F yes, or yeah.
Like go on. Okay. Again, right. I don't know if there was one on there. I would like to. Okay, I don't know if I got an F that guy in me, but that's right.
She added some great things to this list.
I want to just give me a name. Give me a name or something, and we'll move on.
All right, Don King.
Yeah, no, F that guy. F that guy.
But give But why? You can't just say that. Like what?
Are you kidding me? He embezzled money. He doesn't pay taxes. He created a.
He ruined Mike Tyson.
He ruined
I'm with
boxing.
her. That's 2 F no's.
He's an F no.
But he's never had
Hey, tax evasion.
You vote your way.
Illegal gambling ring
Mr.
undercover. He paid people to throw fights.
Yeah, F that guy.
I guess if you say his name, it's negative in negative light. But there's not like a whole lot of he.
It should be F that guy based on his hair alone. Okay.
Where are you going, Jay?
You can put him in the list. Three out of 4 is saying F that guy. He gets in that list. He's on the F that guy list. Yeah.
All right. You can give him 50-50 if you want.
Well, I mean, I get it, but I just...
You just vote.
I'm sure, and my man Stocking could come up with all the things he did to break the law, like that he's been convicted of. I just don't have it off the top of my head. So I'm with you. Sure. That's fine.
Okay.
And if he ruined Tyson, he ruined Tyson.
Yes, he ruined Tyson.
Did you ask Coach if he wanted one?
Would you like one, Coach?
Normally I would, but I don't.
I understand.
Yeah, I got North stuff on. I'm not sure that's the look.
God, he's so smart.
He is. All right, Coach.
Stocking said Don King has a rap sheet longer than his hair. So, all right, F that guy.
Exactly. Thank you, Stocking.
Start
Love
with
you.
Coach this time. John Daly.
Okay, this is okay. I have a
Let's
story.
start with Coach this time. He said start.
Go ahead. I have a story.
No,
I wasn't voting. I just have a story.
I'm 50-50 on him.
Okay, 50-50 on Daly. Jay?
I don't care. Yeah, 50-50.
So you're 50-50.
What did he do?
Oh my God, so much.
All right, here's the deal. I would say this. I would say I forgive him just because he's just a waste of talent. But I forgive him because he really hurt himself more than anything. Leah, what do you got?
I'm gonna forgive him.
Well, what's your
Because
story?
he's an addict. Oh, my story. So my grandma, my favorite grandma that I talk about on here, she volunteered as a driver for the golf classic.
Mm-hmm.
So she drove around all of the golfers, the professional golfers, and John Daly was her assigned driver. And she said that there were so many beer cans, so many empty bottles, so many McDonald's wrappers that she had to clean up after he was in the backseat of her car.
The dude has a good time.
He
I don't
has a
think
good
there's
time. He's
any
a party
argument.
animal, but you know what? Sometimes that's his stigma. That's his reputation.
I
He's
would
the,
say this.
He's
We
the
gotta,
bad boy of golf.
He is, but for right now, he got two 50-50s and 2 yeses. I say he's forgiven.
Forgive him.
Tell you what, you guys are gonna say whatever, but I made the John Daly, named it.
The drink?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I remember we served those a lot at your bar.
I'm not gonna.
I did. Me and Bill Mock. I'm just saying. You got another one?
Another one. Allen Iverson.
Yeah, that's
Start with you, Jay.
Oh, he did some time. Yeah, I forgive him. I forgive him.
Got a yes. Coach, how about you?
Forgive him.
I'm 50-50.
I have no problem with him.
I personally don't.
I can't even tell you what he was arrested for. I think it was something to do with Okay. Are you sure?
That was a big bowling alley brawl.
Yeah, it was a bowling alley thing. Yeah. He was a kid.
Fight. He
was a teenager.
Yeah, he was.
He was. I mean, I know that's.
I'll forgive him.
Oh, I don't know if that's because you're mad at my comment or if that's for real.
Okay, first of all, it's not a symptom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Moving on.
Allergies, y'all.
Now we're going to get a little harder.
I love this.
Ray Caruth.
Oh, no. F that guy.
Yeah, F that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have him on my list.
We're not.
F that guy.
Yeah, there's. Yeah.
All right. Moving on. Latrell Sprewell.
Nope.
Choked PJ Clarissimo.
Choked out Clarissimo.
Yeah, PJ.
Nope. F that guy.
First to have the corn rolls in the NBA.
He also created the rims. And I served him at Silk, the strip club in Milwaukee.
She's saying no.
Yeah, he was rude to Bomber.
He was.
All right.
And he had a big stain on the front of his
I have a problem with
shirt.
the fact that you set a precedence by choking your coach.
No respect.
And that's just, I don't know.
There's decorum.
You
I have
don't
a
do that.
Big time problem. Listen, you cannot get. I can see you not getting along with your coach. Sorry. I can see a lot of things like that, but you do not put your physical hands on your coach.
Absolutely not.
That doesn't happen.
F that guy.
I am saying F that guy. Coach.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
All right.
We're not even getting to the real deal. Holyfield's
we got
here.
some really good ones coming up.
Yeah.
All right.
Do we get to argue OJ again?
No, OJ. OJ's not allowed on this list.
Roger Clemens.
He's on my list.
Okay.
All right. I'll let Coach go first.
You know, this is a tough one. I'm on the side of, what's done is done. I'd say forgive him.
Bomber.
50-50.
Jay Bird.
I don't want to put him in the F that, but I don't want to just forgive him. I mean, he's gotten quiet. I think it's more a thing like out of sight, out of mind. But when you're blaming your wife, we're having the PEDs sent to your wife and it had nothing to do with me, when clearly, like, was it 97? He was in the body issue of SI or ESPN the magazine and abs, and to stick it to the Red Sox, then he did it. But throwing the bat back,
Yeah,
Piazza. Then some will say that's just him being a competitor at the wrong time. But the thing is I'm not big. I'm 50-50. I don't care.
Being the guy in the face, by the way, earlier in the year.
Yeah, but I'm the whole PEDs. Across the board. I'm gonna say like I don't care. They did PEDs in baseball. I'm telling you right now. I'm gonna go. I don't care. So 50-50.
50-50.
He's got some qualities of F that guy though.
I'm just gonna give him an F that guy. So he's kind of in the board. He goes down as a 50-50.
You know, the thing about Clemens is all that happened at a bad time. And, you know, you can make every excuse in the book and say that everyone was doing it because a lot of people were. But, you know, I think he made a mistake. And he's a guy trying to make his career longer and do what he did to be successful.
Well, I think he's going to fall on. I'm going to bring up another guy, and I think they fall in the same boat. They were both cheating, but they were both a-holes while they were cheating.
Yeah.
Like no one looks, and I won't even bring the names up because they're not even. I don't even think they count. But like no one looks at the guys that cheat with pitches with the sandpaper or any of that, and looks at them and says, "Nah, it's different," and they weren't a-holes.
Yeah, if you're gonna cheat, be nice.
In the nose.
All right,
put snot on the ball.
But I mean, do people look at Sammy the same way they look at my next guy, Barry Bonds?
No, because Sammy's he's more humble. So
absolutely, no.
Barry Bonds is not humble.
No. Sammy used. I don't understand English when he was being there.
You forgive Barry Bonds?
Absolutely.
Okay, Jay.
Yeah, I forgive Barry Bonds.
Coach?
Yeah, I forgive Bonds.
See, I'm going to give him an F now. I'll give him and Clemens both an F now. I'm sorry. I'll stick with it.
I forgive them both.
Because here's the deal. Not only did you cheat, but you're an a-hole about it. That's what it...
But he pulled the... I mean, he was using the cream, but he's not the only one that did it.
I know
he just broke records, and that's all.
Hey, if your friends jumped off a bridge, would you?
Okay, Mom.
But would you, Jeff?
Would you?
I have jumped off a bridge with my friends. Yeah.
What did your friends do?
It was in Small Lake in Lake Wissota.
I'm the one that jumped first, so I'm okay.
Doesn't shock me one bit.
And you're fine with Bonds?
Well, see, the thing with Bonds is, and everyone says the same thing, he cheated and he used steroids to get back. The hard part's hitting the ball.
Oh, you could always hit the ball.
You still got to do that. So, I mean, did he give himself an advantage? Absolutely. But, we just talked about Clemens had an advantage. Pettit had an advantage. I mean, pitchers were doing the same thing. So, I mean, unless you railroad them all.
Pettit's a guy where I'll give a 50-50 to because Pettit wasn't a jerk.
Yeah.
Right.
He got caught cheating and he admitted to it.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I did. I probably shouldn't have done it. I was trying to get an advantage.
Yeah. I tell you what, I would have. No one offered it to me. They didn't see the potential.
They didn't see the potential. It's okay, kid. You're always got potential. All right, moving on to a few different little
What's wrong with my group that I'm running with? No one saw potential.
Addison Russell, Jay.
Nope.
I wouldn't even thought to put him on this list till you brought him up.
I'm giving him a no.
I don't think you put your hands on a lady.
Yeah.
And he was very much like everything's going to be fine about it.
I was very, very disappointed in the Cubs for even bringing him back at all.
Yeah.
That was another stain on baseball for me, if you will.
He gets an F, that guy. So I guess we're just right around just across the board. We're going to say Ray Rice gets an F, that guy.
Who was the guy that beat up his girlfriend in the elevator?
Ray Rice.
Oh, okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
He gets that.
Same
we're
thing.
putting a lot more people on the list than I thought we would.
Yeah.
We're not a very forgiving society here in the Hassel.
You can't do that. When you're a man that's 6'6", you're
beat her.
Chiseled.
Yeah.
You don't,
all right, well, let's go to another form of cheating, if you will.
You don't do that.
Okay.
The entire Black Sox squad.
You got to throw Shoeless Joe in there with those guys because
let's narrow it down to Shoeless Joe then.
Ray Liotta.
It wasn't really Ray Liotta. Honey.
That's what I picture every time that word comes out of
But
me.
do you forgive Ray Liotta?
I would forgive him for anything.
Just time out.
Those eyes, are you kidding me?
Shoeless Joe.
I got one to come too, but none of us can stand the son of a bitch who's laughs. We told him stick it. My favorite line in Field Dreams. I
forgive the entire team.
It's so that's one of those you just after years you just kind of go, yeah, okay. I don't really have a problem.
I'm just not a guy. If you're playing to win, like I'm the most competitive guy in the world, but winning is great, but I hate to lose.
Mhm.
And if somebody on my team, threw a game on purpose, I don't think I could ever forgive them. So I'm going to say, F them, because I mean, if you're going to do that for money, then
Do you think?
that's
do you
as
think
low as it
Don
gets.
King. That's
But do you
exactly what
think-
Don King all the
Coach,
time.
do you think Joe did? Do you think Shoeless Joe did?
I don't know. I mean,
wanna
it's hard
believe
to
it.
argue with the numbers he had, but there's always a time in a game that it's a big spot. You always have that opportunity to do it, and you could hide that. I don't know if he got up with the bases loaded and struck out, and you could still hit 450 and not help your team win.
Here's where the argument comes in on the Harrington's Pub Facebook comment thread. Stocking says it there. The Black Sox. He blames the owner, Charlie Comiskey. He was a total cheapskate, and that caused a scandal. And I understand his point, because they were, and they needed to make money. But again, it's so I'm like I forgive him.
Leah, what'd you do?
Shoeless?
Yeah.
All I can picture is Ray Liotta. Forgiven.
Good Lord. All right. I like Coach's point though. All right.
No, yeah, and if you're affecting everybody on your team.
Right.
It's a team
Another
sport.
person who
That's
broke
messed
the
up.
rules of Major League Baseball. The greatest hitter of all time, Pete Rose.
Forgiven.
This is a good argument to have. He truly did not admit to it till he made a book. He thought he was getting one over on everybody. He felt he was smarter than everything. That's kind of the big. If you're doing that, if you have an F that guy category, that's an F you to the Major League Baseball by Pete Rose. I'm struggling. I've always said he should be in it, but do I forgive him? I don't know. I do think he should be in the Hall of Fame, but do I forgive him for gambling?
Yeah, it's the same deal. I mean, what he did was wrong, but
It sounds to me
you
like
can't-
everybody's 50-50. I'm
you can't beat
50-50
talent.
with
Yeah,
the guy.
I'm 50-50.
I'd say I'm 50. I'm more like 70-30 though.
He can be in the Hall, but you can still go. But I'm 50-50.
He's a jerk. There's no question.
Oh,
about
yeah,
that.
he is a jerk too.
Arrogance.
Hands down.
AF, yes.
All right, going back to cheaters. Just had a show about him.
Mm-hmm.
One nut himself, Lance Armstrong.
Okay.
I forgive him.
You do?
He's got
No,
one
this is-
ball.
you
I
do.
mean,
All right, well,
he
here's the-
suffered enough.
There's this argument
so
is
does
really,
a lot
really
of people
good.
I know. And I can't say their names on air.
This is really because he was
I don't care. He's a
so
bicyclist.
rude to people that called him
This
a
is
cheater.
the deal. He destroyed people's lives. you
Yes.
guys, after they accused him of cheating.
Yes.
Like he would go out and destroy their lives.
What?
Secondly, yeah, Leah.
Okay, I didn't know this part, so
Okay.
explain.
He
Now,
called it.
secondly, as Americans, we are all. How proud of you were for this guy when we
the
didn't
Tour de
think he was
France?
shit, like, and then all of a sudden we're like, we're a bunch of cheaters. Thanks, Lance.
The last time I cared about the Arc de Triomphe is when he's
Yeah.
riding in there.
I cannot forgive this guy. I'm
He
sorry.
called the doctor lady a drunken whore that told him that she was giving him steroids.
What?
And
Yeah.
then he turned around and he just totally railed on Floyd Landis, who broke the entire thing and tried to ruin his career. And then he was like, my bad.
Oh my God.
My bad, guys.
Sorry.
No, keep on top of it. He raised millions of dollars for cancer.
Even worse than this, he was with Sheryl Crow. So
Millions of dollars for cancer.
He did a lot of good for a lot of people.
Sheryl Crow got around.
Yeah.
But he
Sheryl
did some
Crow
awful
nasty.
things to a small group of people. That
I didn't know any of
I
this,
just
you
don't know you
guys.
forgive somebody for that.
And I don't know if the documentary does that or not. So if it goes
Well, we
into it,
didn't watch it.
that's why I got
Is it a pro Lance documentary?
Yeah. You know,
Is it going to glorify him?
we
or is it
talked about
gonna-
this as well. Like
I don't know. We'll
I
find
read
out.
the book. I read it's not about the bike. I read the book, and everything was like America.
Not about
and
the
then
bike. It's
you
my
have
ball.
you have the yellow bracelet on, and then you turn it over. It says "Made in China," and you're like, "What?"
Well,
Like I
that's-
remember like
that's
reading the
everything
book
now.
and having it on, and I'm like, "What
Those
is going on?"
bracelets never fit my wrists.
Well,
That's because you're beefy.
You guys
someone
didn't
would have
watch.
saw potential in me and give me steroids. It wouldn't fit mine either, but no one saw potential.
You
I
didn't
didn't
watch
take
the
steroids.
first episode of that thing or the Lance thing on Sunday night?
No, did you?
I watched the
Okay.
first half hour, and I just thought it was funny. He talked about, he knew people were going to be, like F you for forever, and he said, it would happen every day, and then it was going to be once a week, and then it was going to be once a month and once a year, and he goes, then I went some time without having people doing it, and he thought everything was fine. He pulled up outside a bar, and like one guy stands up and gives him double barrel, F you.
Yeah.
He said, next thing you know, there's 15 people standing there doing the same thing.
Oh,
So
snap.
he goes, it just kind of dawned on me, people aren't over this yet. He said he went in and called the bar and said, hey, I want to buy everyone's dinner out there. Tell them it's from Lance Armstrong and tell them, I'm sorry and have a nice day. And I'm sitting
Do
there
you
going,
forgive him? Do you eat it?
I didn't know all this. Now that I've
Yeah.
gotten
That's
more
the other
information,
thing.
But there's so much.
He's got to go back and make up to all the people
Oh,
that
yeah.
he tried to destroy the lives
Yes.
first. I start hearing some stories like that, then I'll forgive Lance Armstrong.
That's a mob mentality, though. You can't tell me that 50. He's lying. There's not 15 people that are like, oh, yeah, by the way, that guy's right who just gave him the double barrels. Yeah, F you, Lance. That's mob mentality. But on top of it, if you're the first one, do you accept the meal? I mean, I turned down the drink from John Wayne Gacy's son.
Nope.
What?
I had offered a drink in Waterloo, Iowa. He's like, hey, buy those guys a drink. And I was like, no, I know where you... I said, no.
But it's not his fault that his dad was
It's
John
blood
Wayne
money.
Gacy.
I was like, I know where you get your money from. It's blood money.
What?
Shit.
How? What do you mean?
I've told you this story. I've said it on the air.
But why do
How
you
is it
think
blood
it's blood
money?
money?
Because his dad was selling all those paintings of clowns to people when he was in prison. They
His
changed the
son.
entire thing. Don't sit there and say that's okay. Why would you take that?
I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Well,
anyway.
I did kind of know about that.
It's his son.
Yeah.
I mean, if my dad was a serial killer,
I don't know. I
selling
mean, I
his
guess I
paintings
take
too.
the meal. I'm like, oh, great, a pork tenderloin on the house. Lance Armstrong bought me a pork tenderloin. I just don't think that. I think he's lying. I think he's lying about
He's
15
probably
people.
exaggerating.
I mean,
yes.
I wouldn't put it past him. He does not have the best track record. But
All right, we're running out of time, but
We got time.
We'll
We'll run the commercials at the end of the show.
How about another one here? Michael Vick.
No.
Oh,
It's fair. That's a fair. I like her response. It's fair. I don't know.
Not even.
He seems to do. I don't know, Coach.
I'm 50-50. I mean, what he did was awful.
Animals are victim. You can't. They're helpless. They don't have a choice in the matter. That is serial killer mentality right there. Talk about John Wayne Gacy's son. This man. When you hurt an animal, you're a bully. You're an awful person. No forgiveness ever.
I think he's worked hard to try and improve his reputation. And
for what? For this?
Well, he did go to jail.
He did.
Yeah.
He did
Served
go to
his
jail,
time.
and he didn't get anything light either.
That doesn't matter. He shouldn't have been. He shouldn't have been allowed back in the NFL.
But
neither should Addison Russell been able to play MLB. All these people that do these things should be just out because it gives a stigma to these professional athletes.
She makes a strong argument.
I know.
I'm going to go 50-50 still, Leah.
I'm 50-50.
I love your argument.
Yeah, I'm 50-50. I'm not going to.
But I love your passion. How about that?
His 99 Madden rating is just insane. So.
His year with the Eagles was an exciting time as an Eagles fan. Once you look past the horrible things he did. But.
Yeah,
Ooh, Stocking comes right in there. Vic is an F guy. Yeah.
He is. Well, and here's the
Kill
thing:
dogs and I'm
if
against
you can hurt an animal, you can hurt a person a lot easier.
Who else you got?
All right, I got to throw three all in at once because I feel they're all in the same boat.
Triplets.
I'm never forgiving it.
Penn State,
Never.
Michigan State, Ohio State.
I'm not. I'm never forgiving
I
it.
say F every one of them.
I'm never ever.
Yeah, absolutely. F them all.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's not strong enough.
Yeah.
That is. We've had. I don't know, Coach. Have you ever heard that episode that we had? This dude that's like
for starters.
he's a Sandusky apologist.
Yeah.
He thinks he's innocent.
Yeah.
It's the craziest.
Oh, it was one of the craziest
40
conversations
minutes of
we
radio
had
we've ever had.
But I'm just like it was fun to listen to.
Yeah, Paterno was framed and its whole thing. Like
my
it's
God.
it's the craziest radio we've ever had.
People
So
are
they
crazy.
got an F.
They get
an
an
F
idea
on-
in their head and they just can't let it go.
When T. Ray still says we gotta call Ziggy. We gotta have him back on.
We do.
All
All right, I'll do another twofer.
A twofer.
Another twofer. Mark and Sammy.
Forgiven.
Yeah, I don't care. Yeah,
I forgive him.
I like that there was two of them doing the same dang thing though.
Yeah.
I had guys to call to compare notes. So.
I'm 50-50. The only thing, like I said, I'll be 50-50 with guys that aren't jerks about it. Sammy played dumb. He wasn't a jerk about it. Mark,
I think he is dumb. I don't think that he played dumb. I just think he's dumb. Mark McGuire was more elusive about what he was doing. Don't you think?
Let's see here. Anybody else?
The thing about Sammy that bothers me is when he's all of a sudden he's being questioned about his use and then he forgets English. Like
I was just gonna say
that's the
that.
thing
That's
that bothers
it.
me.
Now,
about him,
now
I
we
was just
get
gonna say
to
that.
the
Victim mentality.
the cream of the crop, the ultimate. Do you forgive or do you not?
Oh God.
Did he or did he not? O.J. Simpson.
F that guy.
Got one F.
Yeah, that dude is so bad. I don't even know where to start.
He is so
with you
yes,
guys.
right?
I am so with you guys.
There's
This
so
dude-
many things wrong with
Yeah,
that
yeah.
dude. We don't.
The dude,
Yeah,
the
it's
dude's
all
Twitter
weird.
feed alone makes me want to F that guy even more.
I like when they're like, well, did you see the interview with him when they're like, well, being a black man in America? He goes, I'm not black, I'm OJ. What? Yeah, I mean,
He's right. He was
no,
right at
he's
the time.
not. But he was uncomfortable in his own skin, which made him even scarier.
No.
Yeah,
That's not the point.
No pride in who he liked his image more than he liked himself.
He was a darling.
Himself is the image.
Bull.
That's what he thought.
You are not your image.
That's he was a trademark before there was a trademark. He was OJ.
Yeah, but that's not okay to be. You're not mentally sound if you think you're your trademark.
Well, obviously he's not mentally sound. I'm just saying though. But the comment is not.
I mean, let's think about this real quick, guys.
Mm-hmm.
For those of us a little bit older than Leah, but who didn't grow up knowing him.
I was like 12 watching that whole trial on TV.
Honey, that's not knowing him when he was an athlete.
Oh no, but I remember watching him when I was little. Not as much as you guys, for sure.
But if OJ never gets in trouble for killing his wife, or never kills his wife, how about that? I mean, where is he now?
Well, he's doing great.
That whole.
I mean, he was already a huge star in NBC Sports.
He was all over. He did NFL games. He was Nordberg.
Yeah, I loved him. My family loved him before everything went down.
But that's right in my high school. You know, that white Bronco chase and all that.
Yeah.
We were in class when they announced he was found not guilty. I mean, that's such a big part of my high school. Like I can remember all those memories vividly.
I think that's the part that bothers me the most is that people knew he was guilty and wanted him to get off, and they cheered, being like, "Yeah, I know he's guilty, but I'm just glad he got off." I don't like that. That to me is.
Yeah, it's because this defense team made it a race thing, and then.
Well, it should
can
never
you
be
imagine
about
social
race.
media right now? Can you imagine social media right now with that going on?
Dude, if it don't fit,
No.
you must have quit.
It would be
like,
insane.
you know what I say to that? And put a glove on top of a glove. It's not going to fit. Put a rubber glove on and then put another rubber. It's not going to fit. It's like wearing two condoms at the same time. Second one's going to go on a little tighter.
Really?
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I don't have one of those, but.
No, but no. OJ doesn't. He still doesn't take. He doesn't care. He still puts things out there. He's like, oh man, you shouldn't be doing these things. Like he goes on Twitter.
I'm just saying.
He's out of his mind.
OJ, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Hey, Twitter world.
He did it.
I mean, the stuff, the entire thing is incredible. It is the beginning of reality television. That
And
is
the
the
ticker
beginning.
tape, correct?
That is
or
beginning.
what? The ticker tape was the first Gulf War.
But this is the first Gulf War.
I honestly feel sorry for OJ.
It's the beginning of.
I don't.
I do a little bit.
Reality television.
I feel sorry for all those kids.
It's like childhood stars when the fame goes their head and then they don't live in reality anymore. That's kind of where he went with it.
Well, yeah, he never got in
you're
trouble.
absolutely right.
I mean,
Right.
he beat
He
up his
got
wife
away.
and he drove
That's
away and they let him
okay.
drive away. Like it's
That's my
insane.
point. The
reason
reason why I don't like OJ more than anything else is because I heard him and his wife's recordings, and he was not a nice man at all.
No.
He felt he was above the law.
He did.
He was told he was.
He thought fame bought him, free pass.
Well, there's a forgive and forget.
F you, OJ.
Thanks for playing along. Coach Watchell, thank you so much for being on the show.
I appreciate
This is
it.
awesome to have you on. And
Good luck this hyphen season.
Yeah,
thank you.
so and all the parents out there, and I think Koss put it on Twitter, like he's right. Like
Koss gets to get back to work, by the way.
yeah, it's not going to be easy for the coaches. It's not going to be easy for the athletic directors.
gonna be easy
Everyone's
for
trying to
anybody.
go on the fly, and so like you just have to ease up on your expectations of how things are going to be because you're learning along the way, Coach.
It's going to be a daily change.
And everybody out there that's listening, if you have a strong opinion about something, please ease up on your opinion too. Don't be yelling at Coach from the sidelines if you think he touched somebody. All right.
No, he's gonna like him. He's gonna like him if they're in the
Careful how you
outfield.
say
That's the
that.
thing. It's gonna be great. That's gonna be. He's like, can we just keep it out there? It's worked out perfect. So thanks a lot, Coach. We really
Thank you.
appreciate
Thanks
your
for
time.
having me.
All right, you guys. We will talk to you later.